Tonight on Be Something Wonderful, how to align with your higher self. I am your host, Tom Karen, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. One of you asked me, Tom, how do I connect with my higher self? How do I know I am connected to my higher self? Well, guys, we're going to unpack this tonight and more. Here's what I want to say. It's not really about being connected. You're always connected to your higher self. So a good question is, yes, how do you know? But you always are. That's how you know. But how do you feel it? But really the question is, how do you align with your higher self? Because while you're always connected, there's only one mind, one God, one power, one energy, and we're all part of that. You're not always aligned with it, right? You're caught up in the 3D chaos. You're caught up in the 3D illusion. So the question is, how do I know when I'm aligned with my higher self? You are always connected, but you are often not aligned, right? The biggest indicator that you are aligned with that higher power, that you are aligned with that greater good, that you are aligned with that God within you, is that it feels good. You feel good. When you don't feel good, you're not aligned with it. That's your emotional guidance system telling you, Tom, you're not aligned with that greater you, right? If you feel negative, if you feel anything but that love, anything unlike love, you're not connected, right? But you're not aligned, right? You're always connected. But the feeling is not conditioned by anything out there. So feeling good, yes. There's things you can do to feel good. You can look at 3D conditions, people, events, and circumstances and feel good. But I'm talking feeling good from within for no other reason than your connection and your alignment with your higher self and that divinity within. That's what we're talking about here. You feel more loving, more compassionate, more carefree. You feel fun, you feel light. As Abraham Hicks says, you feel frisky. I often feel frisky in my videos, right? Whatever frisky means, it's lighthearted. You feel like light as a feather. Do you get it, guys? This is the feeling that runs through you. You feel loving, compassionate, carefree. You are more joyful, playful, and fun just because. Remember, there's nothing serious going on here. And guys, believe me, I've been through some what we would call serious things in my life. If you've read my book, that includes it's part memoir as well. But it's about being carefree. You are above. It's about being above the hustle and bustle and the chaotic concerns of the 3D world. That's alignment. Let's unpack this a little bit more. You are above and outside of the endless cycle of desiring and resisting, of wanting and avoiding. Hear that? That's all the 3D world. We want something, we can't have it. I don't want this, I'm going to avoid this. All of that craving and resisting is all part of the 3D experience, right? And so you observe 3D reality with love, compassion, and even humor, right? Remember, your inner being, that dimensionally larger you gets it. It knows everything. It gets the humor of the game of life. And so it's funny, but it's compassionate at the same time and loving. And it will hug you and smile with you and laugh with you, right? You don't judge when you're aligned. You lack nothing and you need nothing. That's alignment. Needing nothing, wanting for nothing, lacking for nothing, not judging anything. You see reality as it is, hear this, not as you are, not as the 3D you. Because mostly we see reality as we are, as the 3D person, as the identity that we take, as the viewpoint that we take on, right? So you're seeing reality really without the 3D filters. That's alignment, right? You know you are stuck in your 3D world identity when. Here's how you know you're stuck in that 3D world identity: when you feel separated and guarded. When you see the world as either or, win or lose, succeed, feel fulfilled or wanting. right? Fulfilled or not fulfilled. You see it all in this binary context, all in this relativity, this duality. It's win-lose, right? I've got to protect my interest, right? I've got to win for me, right? There's competition, right? There's people that can take things away from you. There's people that can have more than you. None of that's true in that dimensionally larger reality. None of that's true when you're guided, when you're aligned with your inner being, right? So let's unpack this a little bit more. If you only just resisted less, hear this, and allowed more of your natural well-being to flow to you and through you, your entire life would change 180 degrees. I'm not kidding you. There's no joke in here, guys. As you channel your higher self and let that natural flow of life, of well-being, of what you are made of, what you were born as, flow through you, that changes everything. You now have the light touch and the open heart, and you observe without judging and without labeling, right? It's a light touch, right? So how do you do it? How do you align? You're saying, Tom, this is great. But how do I do it? Well, how do you align with your higher self? Assume the identity, the viewpoint of your higher self. Just declare that I am going to assume, I'm going to declare, I'm going to take the viewpoint of my higher self. Make that an intention, right, from your heart. Then make it an intention, and then move your attention within to I am. Move it to a neutral space, right? We talked about the alpha state meditation. Observe your busy mind without resisting it, without resisting your thoughts, without resisting any feelings. Give everything space to just be. Hear this. Imagine if we just gave it space to be, right? I often say when people are going through heartbreak, that's your heart wanting more space to grow. It's your heart expanding, looking for more space to be in, right? So do nothing with all that activity. Let the activity of your crazy 3D mind be. Observe it. Become the observer. Become the witness, the silent witness. This is powerful. We've talked about this before, but I really want to hit it tonight. There's no analyzing. There's no fixing. There's no trying to figure anything out. You're not trying to fix yourself. You're not trying to quiet your mind. You're just observing it. Hear this. You're not trying to resist your thoughts. You're not trying to control them. I know one of you talked about that on the channel. It's not about ever controlling. You cannot control them even if you wanted to. It's about letting them all be, right? And observing, not identifying with them, right? And then there's no judging, no expecting, no craving, no resistance. Why? When you do this, you're just left with who you really are, that joy, that love, that compassion, that excitement, that fun, that humor is all who you really are, right? Just rest in that space of awareness and observe the 3D you as it bounces between the this and that, the here and there, the wanting and the resisting. You're going to see it. Right? You're going to see your 3D you. You're going to feel it. You're going to observe it. Right? Then now you can communicate. And so that's how you align. And now why not communicate with your higher self? What are ways that you can communicate with your higher self? Well, you can communicate with your higher self and you can communicate as your higher self. Hear this. Right? On a lower level, you can communicate as your higher self as a higher part of you. Or on a higher level, you can communicate as your higher self. You are both your 3D you and your higher self. So you get to choose, right? So the 3D you asking for guidance to your higher self, that's communicating with your higher self. Ask for guidance, right? It's like on any other level, communicating with angels, communicating with other beings, right? We're all one. So whenever you're communicating with anything in the unreal, in the that we call unreal, in the unseen realm, all of that's part of you. All of that's part of your inner being. All of that's part of your higher self. Okay, so even the angels, even the guides, even the other spirits, they're not apart from you. All of that's part of your inner being. So ask for guidance and you'll get it. then it's you as your higher self, maybe even a future self, giving and imparting guidance to the 3D you. So now you rise up, you become your higher self, or maybe even a future self. Future, we know there's no future or past, but just to kind of play with it a little bit here, right? A higher self in a higher dimension, and then communicate and give guidance to the 3D you. Wow, that's big, right? What's the key here? We've talked about both of these types of meditations before, but what's the key? The key is to loosen your definition of who you are. Because who you are is unlimited. Who you are is invincible. Who you are is eternal. It's forevermore. You can't even define it. You can't put any walls around that, right? So it's to loosen those definitions, right? And how you define yourself and see yourself. It's really to uncollapse the wave, right? We talked about the quantum physics, about collapsing the wave. It's about uncollapsing it. Right? So let's unpack this a little bit more. So get into an alpha state. Close your eyes. Relax into an alpha state. Feel the natural well-being within without thinking, imagining anything in particular. Right? Feel it grow to a high state of joy and excitement. Then allow whatever images and thoughts to come to you. Right? This is about receiving your desires, receiving your images. This is the higher self, if you want to call it, higher self meditation. Yeah. And so we've talked about this meditation before, but close your eyes, relax in that alpha state. Feel the natural well-being within without thinking or imagining anything in particular. Right? You're not going into an imaginal act here. You're getting into that I am, that neutral place, right? That 0 point. Feel it grow to a high state of joy. Now you're causing the feelings. You're causing the emotions from within, right? You're not getting to a high state of emotion from anything from the outside of yourself. It's all within. Then allow whatever images and thoughts to come to you. Now, that's what allowing is. That's what's receiving. Now you're going to receive things from your higher self. That's another way to communicate with your higher self, right? Receiving the images. You're going to receive your desires. You're going to receive that higher good, your higher desires, your higher wishes, and they're going to come in the form of images from your higher self, right? That's what we're talking about. That's the higher self meditation. So, communicating with and as your higher self, right? These are two options. One, the 3D asking for guidance to your higher self. Two, your higher self giving guidance to the 3D you, loosening your identification, right? How do you do that? You do that with this higher self meditation, getting into the alpha state, right? Moving to the neutral place, feeling the well-being, getting into a feeling of excitement and joy without any external stimulants, right, from the outside world. And then allowing images and thoughts to come to you. Now your higher self is going to communicate with you, is going to show you desires. It's going to show you pictures and snapshots and intuitions and feelings of what your higher self wants to communicate with you. You can interpret those in any way you want. Then try this. Try some after this, right? After you come out of this meditation, try some light touch intending and manifesting, right? One of the things that I think gets us all tangled up is we start putting effort into manifesting. One of you wrote me today and said, well, I just need some guidance on what process to use and what affirmation. Remember, it's not really about the processes. It's not about a specific process. You can decide that. Any of them are fine. Right? The idea is your belief. The idea is your inner state. That's what matters, right? You're using, remember, the processes are to create the inner experience of fulfillment. They're not to make anything happen in the 3D world. So if you're still going into it with trying to make something happen, and you think, I got to pick the right process to make something happen, to manifest it, then that's the resistance that's going to keep you from it. So try this. Try some light touch intending and manifesting. Try it. Just try it. Write out 3 desires or intentions and then hand them over to your higher self. Hand them over to God. hand them over to the field of infinite intelligence, right? Now, you can write these out, and you could do this once a week, a couple times a week, or if you feel really excited and motivated, every day, right? And you can even repeat the same wishes or the same desires or modifications of it. It doesn't matter. Hand them over, right? And then it's in the hands of your higher self. That's soft, light touch intending, right? And then for sure you're going to see movement on these, right? And then once you get into a place of feeling good for no reason other than that you're not grabbing onto any more resistance, then if you feel inspired, do imaginal act, imagine something, right? Assume something, right? Try a process. But you got to get into this state where it's not so much work. You got to move back to that neutral state, right? These are things that, remember, these things that you want to manifest with things that would be nice to have, right? Things that would be nice to have. That really, guys, is how to align with your higher self. I am your host, Tom Caron, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of Higher Consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, like and share our videos. That's how we get our message out. Hit us up on Facebook at Be Something Wonderful, on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Caron, our website at tomcaron.com or BeSomethingWonderful.com, or write me anytime at info@BeSomethingWonderful.com. I always love to hear from you. Until next time, with great love, this is Tom. See you soon.